campsite for night 1. Headed out on day 2. Everything is damp. I mean, besides my sleeping clothes, sleeping bag, and all that, but everything I wore yesterday is still super damp. I woke up at like 4 thinking, hey, I'll head out and hike, but everything was wet and it was pretty cold, and hiking in wet clothes with no sunshine up did not sound like a fun idea. So the sun is trying to peek through, and everything's packed up. I'm headed off. So far my shirt and somewhat pants have already dried just from taking the tent down. So we're at mile 10.7 on March 11th and headed out. I don't know if this counts, but this is my first official road walk. I think we're at mile 14 something, 14.7, walking under the power lines. I've heard people say it before, it's like this trail meanders, because I was just up that hill, and then I'm here, and then down and back that direction, which is opposite of the direction I've been going all day. So there's definitely a lot of back and forth, back and forth. It is definitely not straight trail in one direction at all, but weather's been fantastic. Not too hot, not too cold, still not completely dried out because you only get flashes of sun in between cloud breaks. But yeah, actually, compared to yesterday, it's absolutely perfect weather. Okay, mile 18.9. A few miles back, went down into a little creek bed, Hauser Creek I think it is. The climb out of there, once I started doing it, then I'm like, oh, I kind of remember from all the videos people talking about the climb out of Hauser Creek. It is legit. I don't know how many miles, probably a couple, but oh, it's just switchback after switchback after switchback, and we got decent cloud cover. I mean, the sun comes out and it's like maybe high 60s. But oh my gosh, I can't even imagine people doing that in 90 degree, even 80 degree, much less 100 degree weather. That's just insane. Like, you think you're in good shape and you have to stop, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. People stopping a lot more, going a lot slower than I was too. It is legit. But after a while, it finally opened up and saw some people at the top, and they're like, this is it, the worst is over. Oh, so glad to hear that. So it should just be a couple more miles into Lake Marina, and I think there's a small convenience store in there, so I'm thinking about, I don't know, Mountain Dew, donuts, something. Sounds really good about now. Take the pack off, find a place to sit down maybe take a little rest, and then kind of evaluate the rest of the day, how many hours of daylight left versus weather versus campsites or whatever, and how much further I'll go after then. So we'll talk to you then. Closing in on Lake Marina, which I assume is right down there. Stand corrected, that must be Lake Marina. What was on the other side of the mountain must be, or hill or whatever, must be the town of, or farms around it. Oh. Okay, Lake Marina, made it down to the malt shop and store or something like that. They had a full-on restaurant down there, super nice. Probably doesn't get a lot of PCT traffic, or a little bit, but not a lot, 'cause it's just within the first 20 miles. But man, just barely off the PCT. You get a chance to go down there. Super nice, super friendly people. Tons of food options, pizza and hamburgers and whatever. Didn't get my Mountain Dew, but Dr. Pepper and gigantic root beer float, which I probably drank too fast. Good spot in the sun. Dried out the tent, or the rain fly. Dried out the socks. Dried out the feet. Dried out the shoes. Yeah, perfect. Got a bag of chips. So headed down towards the Lake Marina campground. Hopefully find a bathroom down there, and back on trail. Oh, met 4 super nice guys that I guess used to grow up around this area. They're coming back to visit and using bike trails and taking pictures, and they're just super nice guys. Let me share my story with them. We're super encouraging, blown away by what I'm doing, even more blown away by what my wife's doing with the kids. And I don't know, just the more people you talk to about everyone is so, wow, what a great thing. And so few people are like naysaying, like, what are you doing, or you shouldn't be doing it, or whatever. And that's very uplifting, especially after that climb today. We're like, what are you doing? One guy did joke, he's like, 20 miles in, it's not too late to call it now. But I don't know, it's good things like that. Even though I already miss the family and all kinds of emotions going through my head about just the first couple days. It's like you can't turn your brain off about why you're doing this, and should you be doing this, and what you're missing, and how hard is it for my wife, and how badly you miss the kids, and all that. But you have moments like that which don't completely make up for all those feelings, but inspire you to keep on going. And you have that day 2, but I guess most people probably wouldn't need inspiration by day 2. And it's not that I need it, but nice to have. And everyone, like the hikers I ran into, they're super nice. Everyone's super friendly, which was one of the reasons I wanted to do this. It's like the day-to-day, I'm not real outgoing and not real social with people, and I've never liked that about myself. And maybe through this trip, meeting strangers, we're all strangers to each other. You just got to warm up quick. I'll never see those guys probably again in my life, and to have that moment with them, super cool. So yeah, hopefully through this trip, it opens me up to new experiences and meeting new people, and just being better at that, because I feel the emotions really deeply and feel the caring for other people really deeply, but being able to express it and put yourself out there in a vulnerable position where they could, be a jerk back or whatever, has just always been super hard, and I've wanted that to go away. So maybe through this trip, that's the hope. And everyone I've encountered so far, I have no problem. They're super friendly, super encouraging. All the hikers have been super friendly so far. You hear about like egos on trail, that certain type of hikers, and it's kind of like high school again, where it's like you got this group and they're ultralight hikers and they're super fast and they want nothing to do with us, but not so far. And it's only 2 days in, but everyone has just been really cool, really supportive, and just kind of like picked me up I needed, plus sitting out there in the sun, drying everything out. Looking at the weather, could be bad the next couple days again, but hopefully not. Everything, even yesterday, wasn't too bad, so everything hasn't been. Just nice to get things dried out, nice to have dry socks, dry feet, because I was kind of worried about that, feet being wet and all the miles I'm putting on. My feet not used to it with the combination of being wet, probably wasn't going to be a good thing, but socks all dried, raincoat, quote unquote, because it was wet on both sides. That might have to be replaced. Yeah, everything's just been awesome. So, and all dried, and hopefully mostly dried out now. So anyway, there I go, rambling again, which I wasn't supposed to do, but I haven't shot a lot for today, so it's okay. So mostly for my wife, but looks like they got full RV hookups here at Lake Marina. Super nice. So this could have been a possibility for a stay. There's tons of openings. I don't know about, yeah, it looks like pull-throughs on a lot of them too, because we are brand new to RV camping, RV trailer pulling and all that, and man, was it horrendous driving down here through traffic. But so pull-throughs are our friend right now. Anyway, yeah, a lot of good spots. This could have definitely been, I would have been here in a day and a half, so I don't know if it's worth it. They're headed to Julian today. My parents and my sister and brother-in-law are all taking them down there and unhooking the trailer and getting her hooked up and set up for the first time, which is super nice of them, just because we're so unsure of it, and with 2 kids, and a dog, trying to get everything unhooked, especially if it's hot, you know, it's difficult. So to have them go with her and kind of get her established and get her set up, one less drive she'll have to do in the RV by herself. She'll have plenty of opportunity to be doing it by herself down the line, but these beginning ones to kind of get her comfortable with it, be a lot easier with more people. You know, they say it takes a village to raise kids. We've got our village. It's not always perfect. We kind of live far apart, but when we're together, we make it work. And this is another one of those situations, and I'm real grateful for that. All right, 22 miles down. I don't know if that's quite right, but 2,643 miles to go. That's all. Not a problem. Piece of cake. So by far, these are my favorite sections. Even if it's gradual uphill, that's fine. No rocks to speak of. It's wide, sand, super soft. I'm sure in April or May, especially, these are brutal because you got, I don't know what time it is, about 1, sun almost directly overhead. Just not a lot of shade to be brutal, but right now, no rocks, no turning, straight ahead, sand. Ooh, favorite thing so far. Okay, we're coming up on what I believe is Highway 8. You hear the cars, see it through there. So far, limited experience. Anytime there's like a destination, be it Lake Marina back there, Highway 8 here, I'm sure it's going to be the case with most trail towns or stops. As you're coming down out of the mountains or hills or whatever you want to call it, and tons of downhill, which is super nice for the most part, but you know that means on the other side of it, I'm not sure if we go under or over crossing here, but up, it means up on the other side. Luckily out of Lake Marina, it was very gradual up, but like I said before, Hauser Creek, not so much. Okay. Not sure which way. I gotta check the map. Eventually figured out the way, and yes, this is officially the PCT. Saw a marker back there. All kinds of brush. This is the tail end of it. Let me show you. All through there. A little beaten down after I came through, but it didn't look like that on the way down. So anyway, like I was saying, anytime you come down to one of these destinations, this means right back up on the other side in most cases. So there's like a love-hate relationship, because it's like, yay, downhill, but then, oh no, uphill on the other side. And chances are if you're in a trail town, like I said, I got lucky in Lake Marina, but I'm leaving with a thing of soda and a root beer float in my stomach. Not the best to get right back in the heat, and ooh, looks like we're going under. Get right back in the heat. Or say you're coming out of a trail town and you're just loaded up with food for the next however many miles. You got a much heavier backpack. So granted, you're probably a little rested, but right into the first climb as soon as you get out of town or whatever. It's pretty cool. So yeah, heading under Highway 8. I feel like I recognize this a little from other people's vlog videos, which is one of the first, I mean, besides the monument, the mile 1 marker, one of the first things every way. Kind of recognized. Surprised nobody stopped underneath. I bet when it gets hot, this is the place to hang out. Okay. Whew. Onward. Okay, first real water crossing of any kind. There's a trail over there. I'm gonna go down here. It's a little shorter. Maybe be able to just jump across. Just got my socks dry. Do not want to. Ooh. I was taking down the fence to get this way. Do not want to. Ooh, I don't know if it's gonna be any better down here. I do not want to get them wet again. That's for tomorrow in the rain. Fingers crossed not. Maybe. Definitely gets narrower, but chances are that means it gets deeper. Oh. And jumping with no pack is one thing. Jumping with a 25 pound Maybe a little less. Yeah, see? A lot deeper there. Oh boy. Well, let's see what it looks like. Some footprints. Ooh, there's a log. Probably strictly against leave no trace principles. Look at that. That's like... Drop the phone. Boy, that was a lot. No way. The footprints, so not the only one. This looks a little better. Maybe. After that. Over there, I guess. Rotate. So far, footprints there. Okay. Oh. Okay. First one, and with the phone. Not bad. So I was wrong before. It was not Highway 8 that we were going under. I don't remember what it was. Old Highway something or like that. This is Highway 8. I did feel like that other one was a little too small for that, but so yeah, now we're crossing both lanes of Highway 8, which is kind of funny right now. I was just looking on our Life 360 app, and my wife and the rest of our family, I think I already said they're taking her to Julian tonight to get the RV set up, kind of established for the first time. She was a little nervous about driving in San Diego traffic, which is no joke with a RV where you can only go 55 and everyone's going 75 and 80 around you. But anyway, they took her to Julian. I was looking on the 360 app, and they were literally on the 8 freeway. They didn't come this far south, about, pretty close to the time now when I'm going under it. So I thought that was a crazy cool little connection. They turn off and they go north and head up to Julian. But yeah, so yeah, my parents and my sister and brother-in-law and my nephew, they all fly back, well, respectively to Oregon and to Washington tomorrow morning early, and my wife will set up the RV tonight in Julian, unhook it and all that, so she's got the car and kind of free reign, and hopefully everything goes smoothly for her. It looks like rain and thunderstorms tomorrow, maybe the day after. It's only like a 60% chance, so I'm hoping for not, or hoping just a little bit like the first day, where it's like a little bit of rain and then gives you a break. Nothing torrential all day would be nice, and preferably no thunderstorms when I'm up somewhere high. But so far with the PCT, it's like we don't go to the top of anything. It just kind of skirts around the sides of the mountain, so you don't have to worry about being exposed on top so far. So anyway, it's about 4 o'clock now, like mile 27, 26, something like that. Hoping to get to at least 30 today, because I got 2 more days after this to get to Julian, and that puts, to get to mile 30 today, it'll be 20 miles for the day, and then another 2 20-mile days gets me to Julian Friday night, which was the plan. I told my wife we could definitely might have to adjust because I'll talk about it later, but 3 miles an hour like I'm used to is definitely not in this terrain what I'm hitting. It's closer to 2, if that. So definitely on the next section I'll have to plan the days a little differently so I'm not forced to go as many miles this early. Anyway, onward to hopefully a good campsite, not, well, I don't know, I'd like to put in at least 4 more miles and then a good campsite. Right down there's Highway 8, where I went under. I don't know if you can see. Try this. Those pillars. So it's been quite a climb. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the site. I'm hoping before the sun goes down, we're just going to put my head down and see what more I have left. About 7 o'clock. End of day 2, made it to mile 30. So that makes it like 19.3 for the day. So not exactly the goal I wanted. I wanted at least 20. Hoped for a little more than 20. But I'm just going to have to learn to adjust to the new pace. That's something I was talking about earlier, is that I'm used to back home, Oregon, walks around town, bike path, stuff like that, 3 miles an hour. That's the average. And so I set a goal in my head like 3 miles an hour. How far will that get me? Where I expect to be by a certain hour mark. And here it is like 2 miles to an hour, or 2.5, or just like kind of all over the place. And I think that's a combination of terrain that I'm not used to and being out of shape that I'm not used to. So I think eventually I'll get in better trail shape and hopefully get back to like a 3 mile an hour pace. But I'm just not hitting it currently. I will do at some point a time lapse of setting up the tent, but I'd already felt like I talked a ton today. It's already going to be a longer video than I probably wanted for the day. So I'll do that on a day when not a lot happens or I don't talk a lot to the camera. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's about it. So hopefully I got 2 more days till I'm supposed to meet my wife and Julian. The hope is that I can cover at least 20 today and then 20 into Julian. I'd really like to do 20 plus something tomorrow. It'll depend on how I feel in the morning and how the terrain is tomorrow and all those factors. Because that would be nice to have a short day into Julian, so I get a little bit of time with them that day, and then I plan to at least 0 1 day, if not 2, in Julian with them, just to see how everything's going on that end and see how I feel before I start off again. So that is the plan. So it's getting dark. It's getting a little cold. Supposedly rain, storms, thunderstorms throughout the day tomorrow. I'm hoping I can avoid some of that and not get drenched again. The raincoat is just a joke. Like, obviously it protected from the rain somewhat, but eventually it soaked through and then it was soaking wet. Finally got everything dry today, so I really don't want to get everything wet again. I brought 3 pairs of socks, the Injinji toe socks, and then 2 pair of darn tufts. I've been putting the darn tufts over the top, just to give me the extra protection, but with how wet they both got on the first day, I'm just going to wear 1 pair. I wore 1 pair today, I'm just going to wear 1 pair tomorrow. So I always have a dry pair to start out with, because I'm just worried about wet feet each day could be. So I only have, in theory, 2 days until the next stop. That way I would have a fresh pair of socks every night, or every morning when I start hiking, so I don't have, even if the shoes are wet, at least the socks are dry to start. And that keeps my feet from being all gross. Sleeping with my feet elevated tonight, hopefully that'll help. I kind of want to slant. I think that'll be good too. If I need to pop ibuprofen in the morning, my shoulders are a little sore from the backpack, but not too bad. I think it's just hips and joints and ankles and bottom of my feet just from rocky terrain. You know, you don't, the sand is nice as far as steps, but you're taking all kinds of funky foot movements with every footfall on top of rocks. And so it's getting pressure points at points it never gets. So, yeah, hopefully everything's fine. I'll take ibuprofen tomorrow if I need it. Hoping to at least cover 20, which is freaky because I didn't even cover 20 today and felt like a hell of a day. Plus there was a stop in the town that was really energizing. There's nothing like that coming up, I think, until Julian. I think there's another one, I can't remember where it is, but it's kind of off the PCT and might be too far and not worth it. I'll look into it tomorrow. and kind of judge if that's worth going off trail for or not. But yeah, so that's it for today. I apologize if this is an overly long video. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this. I apologize for being so dark, but it is getting nighttime. So, end of day 2, 19 miles, and a mile marker 30 in the PCT. Feeling good. Good night, everybody.